Hello and welcome to the Legends and Lads Cricket Podcast. I am Chirunandhan Srinath, your host for this week. Joining me on this podcast is Krishna Maitreya. We couldn't have Vijay Lokapalli sir and Rakesh Rao sir. We're back after a very long time, and this episode we're going to talk about the IPL 2026. So far, we couldn't cover the IPL on a weekly basis. So I thought we would do this podcast on reviewing each team's performances, where they stand as of now, and the way ahead for them to the playoffs. This episode is presented to you by the Byline. You can an online and independent news platform. You can check them out at www.thebyline.in. Uh, Maitreya, happy to see you again after a long time, and yeah, we're going to talk about the IPL. So, how has been the IPL for you, and how was your semester examinations?
Yeah, well, the same time semester exams were ending, the IPL started, so that was some sort of like a positive sign because all the exam we were struggling for almost 2 months for the with the exams and everything, and the IPL is like the kind of entertainment that each one of us really needs. So was very looking forward to it, and till now, I guess today is a match 44 as we are recording right now. It is the El Clasico going on. That is CSK versus MI, and this is a 44th game. So till now 43 games, and each of them have been, very high scoring games were seen, very low scoring games were seen. So there are lots of, there's not like a consistent dominance shown by obviously two to three teams. Sorry, 2 to 3 teams showed some kind of dominance like PBKS or RR, those top three teams, but in the middle order, it's always a jumble. You don't know who's going to get the third and fourth spot because it's always been a fight, and that's what makes this IPL so interesting. So, Chiru, I also hope you enjoyed your semester exams also got over so recently. So, how's the IPL so far for you?
Maitreya, I definitely didn't enjoy my end semester examinations, but I'm keen to enjoy the IPL now. Also, I think with the internship that we are mandated to do, I think it'll be a good balance between doing something other than academics and also come back at night and watch IPL. So I think it'll be interesting. Yeah, so we'll get started with the podcast. So I thought we would review each team as of now, as of today, as of that is May 2nd. Before the MICSK match, of course, the table standings, and we'll go through the each team's performance, how so far, how where they stand, and uh, in the order of the points table. So I think first on top is Punjab Kings. They had a very dominant performance. We have number two RCB. They followed some pattern, Maitreya. Win loss, win loss, and win loss. Then there is SRH at number three, if I'm not wrong, and I think number four is RR. Like that, we'll go on and review all the top 10, not top 10, all the 10 teams that play IPL. So starting off with Punjab Kings, and I generally getting 16 points, I think it gets you qualified to the playoffs, right? And Punjabs are already in a hot form. They just lost one game, I guess, and I think they had one no result. Uh, and their openers, Priyan Shari and Prab Simran, are they're doing all the heavy lifting at the top. I remember that game where they chased down. It was a big target. I'm not able to remember against whom. But then Cooper Colony, I think that Aussie, he has some brilliant games and is a lot more consistent. Captain Shreyas Iyer is doing the talk by whether it is with the bat or captaining on the field. And then Stoinis has been really destructive. I think the other night he got some 40 of, I think he got a 50 of 27 balls or something, 22 balls or something. It was a blistering knock. Uh, but somehow, Maitreya, I feel there is a feeling, like when a team's top order performs so well consistently throughout the tournament, uh, it so happens that the middle order actually doesn't get enough match practice, and that is happening with Punjab Kings. There is Marcus Stoinis who's coming and hitting at the middle order, but I don't think so. I'm impressed by Shashank Singh or the other people in the middle order. They are coming and playing small cameos, but sometimes just say there comes a match where the top order fails and it has to depend so much on the middle order, then what happens? And these people have not given that, they've not given their match practice, because that consistently the top order is suddenly, you fall apart, it will fall. So that is one scare that I have for Punjab Kings. Their bowling has been really good. I think Arshdeep is really out of form. Uh, there is Jansen who's taking some flashes, millions at the power play. I think but they have a problem at the death. I think they lost that Rajasthan Royals game. Uh, they leaked a lot of runs in the death overs. I think Ferguson came in into the team very late. I think the addition of him is to give that support to the other domestic players. When you have some experience like him. So yeah, and Maitreya, my question to you is: yeah, you've seen Punjab dominate this season, and I think even the last season they played so well, even in the group stages, and they went on and qualified till the finals, only to lose against RCB. So are we seeing the prime Punjab that we saw probably in 2014? And also, are we going to see Punjab finally having their hands on the trophy, like how RCB did for the first time in 2025? Can we see Punjab doing it for the first time in 2026?
Yes, well, all the signs point to a final spot for Punjab because the way they have been dominating the whole season, I would like to give a special mention to Shreyas Iyer because I don't believe that Punjab could have had this turn of fortune if not for Shreyas Iyer because we have seen Shreyas Iyer the most underrated captain I would say in IPL because after MSD and Rohit Sharma, I believe it is Shreyas Iyer who is the next underrated captain because he came to Delhi and he had got them to a final. Then he has moved to KKR and he won a trophy with them. And now he's come to Punjab and Punjab is, at the top of the table. So this just shows that this man has been performing consistently in all the domestic platforms. He has been part of India's World Cup squads, and also he has been part of three different IPL teams, which has got them. He has got a trophy with one. He has been to a final with one, and now he is most likely to be in a final again. So this just shows that this man is actually a game changer because you've seen Punjab after 2014, as you rightly said, but the last time they really peaked in IPL. But after 2014, we have never seen this kind of a dominance from a team like Punjab. And this, I believe, is huge credits to the mega auction because after the mega auction, I believe the players were evenly distributed among teams that never saw, these kind of players. Like we have seen RCB win the trophy last year, and I believe all this shuffling that happened in the mega auction was a result of this. We have seen teams like Rajasthan gain back their dominance, then now Punjab and RCB is still at the top. So coming to again back to Shreyas Iyer, his performance with the bat, his performance like those tactical decisions on field, and his leadership overall, I would say, is that one strong factor that is gluing all the players of Punjab together because if you see the paper strength of Mumbai Indians or if you see the uh, any other team, everyone has the bowlers, everyone has the batsman, but I believe it's just the right leader who gets out it's a team sport at the end of the day, and in cricket you have to play according to the team situations, and you have to be able to perform well on that day, and that is what Punjab has been doing under Shreyas Iyer. He's been able to get the best out of everyone, and even if you follow the Instagram handles of Punjab, you've seen how jolly it is behind the scenes. There is not like a big stress environment. In one match, Shashank Singh, I believe, dropped three catches, and after the third catch drop, Shreyas Iyer was smiling because he knows if anyone has a bad day, nothing goes right for them, and he was just understanding that. So that just shows that the kind of energy that is there even behind the scenes for Punjab, that positive energy. So I believe all of that can be traced back to Shreyas Iyer and the masterstroke of the Punjab management of getting him into the Punjab team is what I believe changed the fortunes for them.
Yeah, moving on to the next team on my list, on the team at number two at the points table is my favorite team, the Royal Challengers Bangalore, RCB. Like they got one injury recently, Will Salt, and we are actually waiting for him to return because he was so good at the top, and he took. I think also he took some of the tournament's best catches. Uh, Petel came in as a replacement, and he had a wonderful, I think, T20 World Cup before this IPL, but is yet to click in this year's of IPL. I mean, this edition's of IPL. He got some three to four games, but he couldn't score a big, a big total next to his name. We haven't seen yet. Virat Kohli is on the orange cap list, and I also think he doesn't have any strike rate problems like how we had in the previous years. I think the turnaround happened midway that 2024 season. And Padikkal has been amazing, Maitreya. He's so consistent, he's so explosive. Patidar had some initial good scores, and I think the last few games is giving catching practice to all the fielders. And also, I feel it's just a matter of time before he comes back to form. Tim David has been has contributed at his own ways, has given those cameos, and I think he has taken RCB's totals from 200 to 220 and 230. So he's played an important role. I'm disappointed with Shepard, a little disappointed with even Jitesh Sharma for that matter, because first of all, they don't very often they don't get batting chances, and when they get there, actually they're not making full use of it. Single digit scores, and we talked about how Punjab's middle order, isn't getting that many chances, and they don't have that match practice, and therefore, and we saw with RCB happen in last match, right? The top order fell apart, and then we didn't have the middle order to stitch back things. We got to a decent score, but then if for this edition of IPL, Maitra, I don't know what is a decent score, because there was a time when you scored 190 or a 200 and you like, okay, safe. Uh, there were times when I would see an IPL first innings, and if I feel sleepy, I would sleep up, because I would know what the result would be, right? 190 or 200 is safe. Go and sleep. But now looking at how the game has evolved over the past 2 years, I think other day we saw 244, if I'm not wrong, being
264 also
chased
was
down.
chased, the
So
other day. That's
okay, yeah, 264 was also chased down. I'm sorry, I'm a little bad with remembering these numbers, but uh, y- yeah, you need your middle order to click, and I don't know, there's no par score right now. And then coming to Krunal Pandya, I think he's been actually there was a stat on ESPN Cricket Info or Crickbuzz, I don't remember. He has bowled more bounces than any RCB pacer. He has bowled more bounces than Hazelwood. He has bowled more uh, bounces than Bowie and the rest of them. And I think coming to Hazelwood, he has a fair, decent uh, match performances. Yeah, he had a very wonderful spell against the Delhi Capitals, where he broke through their lineup. He got those 4 wickets, but here and there he goes very expensive. And then Bowie is at the top of the purple cap chart. I remember growing up and seeing Bhuvneshwar Kumar dominate and take wickets in 2016 edition of IPL, and actually happy to see him uh, do that even now. And I'm seeing all the commentators say the same thing. How is he so consistent from 2008? 19 years of IPL, and he's doing. I don't know. Wherever I'm going, and whether it's seeing match, the commentators are saying this. Whether it's on social media, I'm seeing influencers say about this. But yeah, we need to agree, because he's so consistent. 19 years, and he's giving the same performance that that is demanded from him. And also there are okay, Maitra, my question to you is, I feel RCB as a unit right now, they're well off, but there are some spaces that need a little glue, right? Like where uh, somewhere something is not sticking, and where do you think that glue is needed for RCB right now to I think it's easy for them to get qualified to the playoffs, but it's important to get into the top two, because it increases your chance to qualify the finals and maybe win another trophy.
Well, coming off strong, they are the defending champions. So if you see the squad as a whole, it is the same squad almost. So I don't believe any change at all matters. It is just that, if you get everything right, because they have the squad in hand, they have the players, they are the defending champions. So if everything goes right for them on that particular day, it gets you to the trophy, because we have seen even Punjab, the way they've been playing this year, they have played very similarly last year and they have gone till the finals. And the finals was between RCB and Punjab. It would have gone either way. You know, that day, if the luck factor always plays that minor role, because obviously the player's performance on that day is what will majorly decide the outcome. But that luck factor is always there. You know, for everything to go right on that day, you should have that small factor. And if it goes right for you that day, and that is for your benefit that day. So Punjab right now, one of the strongest teams right now, and nobody is, only RR was a team that defeated Punjab, and RR again has been inconsistent. So I couldn't say that RR is the strongest team right now. But the way Punjab is playing, I don't believe any team can match them that the day everything is on their side. So for RCB, I believe, as you have said, Phil Salt at the uh, as an opener along with Virat Kohli, the perfect combo I believe for RCB, because the rapid starts that they give, and the Phil Salt also, Virat Kohli will play aggressive, but he'll also play that anchoring role if Phil Salt is there to play more aggressively. So that will give a good start without losing any wickets in the power play. So Phil Salt is a right player there, and once hopefully he recovers from the injury, the squad will be more stronger for RCB. So right now, I don't believe in any changes for the team. Just go and play the game that you are playing, because you are champions. You know how to play the game. Just that every team will obviously study you, because once any team is coming to the top, you'll be studied more thoroughly. So you have to invent yourself. And I believe the X factor again for RCB is Kunal Pandya, as you rightly said. He has bowled so many bouncers. Even me, while seeing the match, I remember the CSK versus RCB match. Krunal Pandya's bowling was the most unpredictable bowling, because you don't know when he's going to bowl the slower one, like how the spinners normally bowl, or the sudden bouncers he bowls, or the speed he gets with just that four-step run up. That is something that is very unique to him, and I don't believe I've seen any other bowler do that so far. So all these factors for RCB, they have the potential, as I said. Easily they'll qualify into the playoffs if they just continue the way they are, but getting into the top two and getting into the final will obviously demand the best out of all the players that are playing there.
Yeah, and hope so they make it to the playoffs. I mean finals, Maitreya. Okay, my next team on the list is Sunrisers Hyderabad, Maitreya, and I think for me, if you tell me to not be biased and tell which is the best team so far, I would say it is SRH, not even Punjab. Yeah, Punjab is at the top, but for me personally, I feel these people at the SRH team, the batting, the top order, especially at the Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, and the others, I think they've been so destructive. And can you believe, Maitri, after Pat Cummins took over from Ishan Kishan, he hasn't lost a match until now. It's like 5 match winning streak. How many times they have chased down 200 plus scores in this tournament, and there have been times where they defended a modest total. I think it was against MI when they chased down. I think. Uh, 235 to 245. I think this was the game what I was talking about. 244. They chased down, and I also can remember Abhishek Sharma's innings where he in one match he hit something like 10 sixes. Can you believe, Maitreya? We are talking about when we go to that Angel One Super Sixes that was displayed yesterday in yesterday's match. I was just seeing the number of sixes that each player had, barring, just exclude this Vaibhav Suryavanshi super kid for a while. He has hit 37 sixes so far. But the others, okay, they're all in 20s, including Abhishek Sharma. And can you believe Abhishek Sharma got 10 sixes in just one game out of those 20? I mean, that is something, I mean, it gives a feeling of what the hell. And I think coming to Salil Arora, I think he was one wild card uh, that was used recently by SRH. coming to their bowling lineup, I think Ishan Malinga has been leading from the front, 15 wickets for him. Pat Cummins, as I said, has come back now. He'll add more stability to the. He's already added some stability to their bowling lineup. Hopefully, he takes more wickets. And I think Nitish Kumar Reddy has been excellent, Maitreya, with the ball especially. Is being economical, and also if you observed in SRH matches, is giving those big breakthroughs, big names, and that is unexpected of some just a batting all rounder like Nitish Kumar Reddy, but he's been doing it. And especially when you have an impact player like this, you wouldn't prefer to bowl an all rounder, batting all rounder, but he's doing an excellent job with the ball as well. And but Maitreya, have this feeling, right? Like SRH bowlers, they're able to do something or the other, finally do something or the other, hook or crook, they're able to, do something and get those wickets. Praful Inge had some impressive games, but I don't think so. This bowling lineup is so consistent, barring someone like an Ishan Malinga, and of course had the experience of Pat Cummins there. Somehow they've they're just there is so much luck in this SRH team that even though all the bowlers are going so expensive, their economies are very expensive. Somehow they're able to get back on the track and win games. Um, but actually, why am I talking about bowlers being expensive? Because Maitreya, as I said, all bowlers are mistreated this tournament. I think it is a horrifying sight. Myself being a bowler, I know the pain of how it feels, to be hit ball after ball. And I'm waiting to come to this Vaibhav Suryavanshi. That guy, he doesn't respect any bowler. We'll talk about him. But yeah, my question to you is, Maitreya, uh, w- I feel SRH is my favorite as of now, and I'm sure after CSK you like SRH, right? So, are you happy with their performance, and where do you think they need to improve?
Yeah, well, the SRH team, I would rate it the second strongest team after Punjab. Only reason I would do that is because of reliability. Because I see the Punjab team as more reliable. Because the openers, I don't know, they're not as destructive as Abhishek Sharma, but if you see, they're more reliable. Because Abhishek Sharma, it's either a duck or a century, it's either a duck or a 50, but there is no middle ground with him. So I believe that's the problem because SRH team, if you go, they give all in, otherwise there is nothing. So that is the only fear for me with this team. But on paper and on field, they have been very destructive. And Abhishek Sharma also, so far, he has hit around 400 runs, 420 runs above. And Klassen has also been another great batsman with him. He has been a nice middle order finisher batsman. 414 runs this season already. So I believe the batting is really strong. Travis Head is there. We know Travis Head. We have so much trauma with him as Indians. So we know the destructive players of SRH. And as I rightly said, the bowling is a bit of concern because they have kind of experience. The experienced bowler, I believe, for them will only be Jaydev Unadkat in the Indian side, and Pat Cummins, obviously the leader. He has to be the one who is, taking care of everybody there. Nitish Kumar has been a surprise, as you said, because I myself watched the CSK SRH match ball to ball because it was going very interestingly. And around the second innings, at about 10 overs, when CSK was chasing, it was looking like the CSK was going to easily win this match. But then the way the bowlers had controlled the game and the way they snatched the game away from CSK, I understood that this bowling attack, even though they look inexperienced on paper, because that day Pat Cummins was not there with the team, even though they looked inexperienced, they had something because the main factor I believe is Varun Arun. Varun Arun, we might not we might know him, but many of the kids nowadays who have started seeing cricket may not know him. But he was a really good bowler. He used to play even for RCB at one point of time, if you remember. And now he's a bowling coach of SRH. And he, I believe, is one of the most underrated bowling coaches across the Indian cricket fraternity because the way he has been working with these inconsistent bowlers and producing one of the best results with them is something that is shocking because we have seen Nitish Kumar Reddy, who has been more of like a batting all-rounder, giving those amazing bowling performances. He's been bowling those good length, those Yorker lengths consistently, wicket to wicket bowling.
Yeah, and Maitreya, to add
Yes, yes, correct.
to this, Nitish Kumar Reddy, yeah, Nitish Kumar Reddy increased his pace, right? Of what we saw him last year and this year, he's increased his pace, and the man behind the pace increase is a gentleman named Stephen Jones, and I'm also happy to announce that he'll be making to our podcast soon. So yeah, we will talk about Nitish Kumar Reddy on that
Oh
show
yeah,
as well. So
that's
yeah,
great
just
then.
mentioning it.
So coming back to my point here, Nitish Kumar Reddy, he was bowling wicket to wicket, and not just him, even the unexperienced bowlers, like Praful Hinge, as I've said, or Ishan Malinga, he has been debuting this season, and the other bowlers, if you see, all of them, I believe, even though the pitches are very batting unfriendly, sorry, bowling unfriendly, and very much pro batting, they have somehow managed to find that, you know, tactic of not allowing the batsman to chase, because CSK lost that match by just 10 runs when they were in a very dominant position at the half of the chase. So that just shows that there is something in this bowling attack. But yes, I would still rate it below Punjab team only because of the fact that I believe this team is inconsistent. The way Abhishek Sharma we saw in the T20 World Cup, it was a very down a very series of duckouts, and at the last finals he got a 50. But this IPL is, I believe, a beacon of hope for him. And obviously, as you have said, after CSK, it is SRH because it's a Telugu team, and I'm from Andhra Pradesh. So SRH, I would obviously wanted to qualify to the playoffs, and hopefully, I believe with this kind of play, they are easily going to qualify to the playoffs. And but we cannot say anything for sure because we are just at 44th match of IPL, and there are still more than 35 matches to go. So nothing right now can be said guaranteed, but that's the way it is right now.
All right, moving on to the next team is Rajasthan Royals, Maitreya. I think they're the only team to beat Punjab Kings, as you said previously in the show. Uh, and I actually didn't want to talk about this man. Sorry, this man, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Uh, please, little brother, I think you have a big future ahead. But I want to plead him. Please give chances to your seniors, to his seniors, because Maitreya, I'm seeing him everywhere. Most number of sixes is there top on the list, 37 as of today. Orange cap list is there. Emerging player list is there. I don't know what are the other uh, lists that are there. And I'm not able to recollect, but is there on all of the mentioned lists that I've just now uh, told you? And I don't know what Rajasthan Royals management is feeding him. What lessons or what mindset can they're giving him, or what food they're giving him. I don't know, but that little boy, I think when I was 15 years old, I couldn't drag to my hostel all alone. And this guy is able to pull, he's able to hit straight back, and so fearless way of cricket. It doesn't see the bowler. I think he's been taught by the RR manager, the bowler play blind cricket, and he's just swinging around this side, that side, and just getting some. I mean, he's getting a lot of runs and is striking at 200 sometimes, 250, 280. I've seen sometimes. So this boy is really a wonder. Uh, Moving away from him, I think Jaiswal is actually being overshadowed by this young prodigy. He's played brilliant. He has had some brilliant games. Rian Parag, recently, I think just yesterday or day before yesterday, he got that 90 of 50 balls. I think he finally got a chance to play and he played that very nice role. And I don't know what happens with these people. Rian Parag, for example, even what is that? Nitish Rana, for that example. They're getting to 90, 91. Just go slow, brother. You might be nearing your first century in the IPL. Suddenly they play a fall short and they get caught. They miss out on a century. I felt bad when Rian Parag missed out on a century. Then there is Donovan Ferreira, who's been the clutch of Rajasthan Royals. He's been the backbone for their middle order. I think Jurel had some decent games, but actually, frankly speaking, their middle order again has not been exposed so much. The Shubham Dubey had one spectacular outing, and looking at their bowling, I think Archer is doing all the heavy lifting. Ravi Bishnoi has taken wickets. I think he's the leading wicket taker for RR. But apart from their batting, I feel their bowling needs some glow, Maitreya. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Rajasthan Royals?
As you have rightly said, uh, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, maybe 2 years back, when when we heard in the auction that they're going to take a teenage boy, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, I didn't believe it would have been a right choice because the IPL is the players are playing from across the world. The top class players are going to play, and they're going to get a boy who isn't even even in the Ranji team is not being playing, and they're going to straight away get him into the IPL. So that was something I was very skeptical about. But seeing his performance, it just speaks volumes of the talent that he's been having. And talent, I believe, in a country like India, it's been present in many people. But you get chosen and then to be under the right hands because the Rajasthan Royals management, all of those coaches, very experienced people. Kumar Sangakkara is there in the team heading them. And then there was Rahul Dravid at one point of time. So with the experience of all those, I wouldn't say veterans, I would say legends of the game, and this boy who is going to be a cricket prodigy, he is a cricket prodigy because of the performance that he has already been giving this IPL so far. So looking at the bowlers, Kyle Jamieson, one of the topmost bowler of New Zealand. The way he celebrated yesterday, the aggressive celebration after dismissing a 14-year-old boy, that speaks volumes of the way the impact that he has created across the cricket fraternity because the New Zealand bowler has to, celebrate aggressively to get out a 14-year-old boy. That just shows the amount of fear that is present in the opposition when they think of him. So that I believe is the X factor for this team because whenever the Rajasthan gets a very good start from Vaibhav Suryavanshi, then I believe there's no looking back, especially in the batting aspect for Rajasthan. And the trade, of Jadeja and Samson between CSK and RR also proved beneficial because we have seen Samson scoring 2 centuries for CSK and a very good wicketkeeper has been in the absence of Dhoni. And Jadeja, a senior player in the team, and with Riyan Paraga's captain, I believe he needs someone helping him around, especially as a senior player, and Jadeja fits into that role. Jadeja also had very good performances. With the bat, he has done some consistent performances. With the ball, he has done some wonderful performances. He has even got a man of the match award in one of these matches. So uh, that was, I believe, Jadeja coming back, even though as a CSK fan.
Yeah, yeah. The brother dedicated it to the minister also.
Yes,
Brother dedicated the
yes,
award to his
yes.
minister.
His wife is education minister, so he dedicated the award to her. And as a CSK fan, it has been a little painful for me seeing Jadeja in the pink jersey. But yes, as long as both the teams are happy and we have got a reliable player for the next, I believe, 10 years or so, Samson is there. And Jadeja getting back, his first IPL team. He has won a trophy with them in 2008. It's like a homecoming for him too. So a happy ending at the, if you see at the whole picture, if you see, it's a happy ending for both of them. And the other aspects of RR, I believe, is a really strong team, except the disciplinary wise, there have been many controversies. The phone in the dugout was one, and then the vaping incident of Riyan Parag. I believe that just takes away the focus from the impact that they have been creating on the field. So apart from these, I believe it's a very strong team on paper, and they have a really good chance because the potential we have seen in them. They have defeated the teams like Delhi. They have defeated the unbeaten Punjab so far. So that just shows that they have the potential to be at the top of the table. Just that they have to be more consistent and they should not rely too much on Vaibhav Suryavanshi, but spread the pressure equally among everyone because it just feels like he absorbs a lot of pressure on the team, and that is one area I believe they should work on.
I don't think he feels any pressure, Maitreya, the
Yeah, the
way he's
way
hitting.
he's hitting, it doesn't look like he feels any pressure, but if you look at the performances and analyze them, it feels that the team actually relies on him more than how much he relies on, you know, whether his performance is working or not. But the team relies more on him. So I believe that factor has to be corrected. And obviously, the more he performs, better for the team and better for his future also. So that I believe sums up Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah, and Maitreya, I think you would go ahead and review the next four teams in the
Yes.
point table.
So coming to the next four teams, it is uh, coming to Gujarat Titans. They have won 5 wins and they have got 10 points in the 9 matches so far that they have played. And a quick recap, if you want to throw the Gujarat Titans campaign so far. So versus Punjab Kings, they have lost. Punjab was unbeaten so far, and until then. And then versus the Rajasthan Royals, they lost by 6 runs. So that was a tough start for them. But then versus the Delhi Capitals, they have won by that 1 run, and that match was really spectacular. And Miller not being able to, he Miller actually had the chance to tie the match, but he refused a single on the penultimate ball of the last over. And then on the last ball, he couldn't get that single and he was run out eventually, or the other batsman was run out eventually. And that ended us, one of the heartbreaking losses for DC. But the first win for Gujarat, and that's what got the momentum for them, I believe, because after that, they have got two other consecutive wins versus LSG and then versus Kolkata. They have won by 5 wickets, and then versus Mumbai Indians, they had lost. Mumbai somehow got that win over GT, and RCB, obviously, they are the most superior team, and versus RCB, they have lost. And versus CSK, they have won by 8 wickets. And again, the reverse fixture versus RCB, a couple of days back, they have won by 4 wickets. So the 9 matches, that is 5 wins and 10 points for them. And as of now, right now, they are, if you see, with 2 wins right now and on a strong momentum. And the players, if you see, Gill as a captain has been doing a really good job because after 2 losses at the beginning of the season, they have changed ways and they have made a comeback. And right now, they are on the winning streak. And the other players you have to mention, obviously, in their team, the batsmen Sai Sudarshan and Butler, they have been really consistent performances from them. And then the bowling unit, the experienced Rashid Khan, along with Kagiso Rabada, and Jason Holder, I believe, is that unexpected player. I didn't believe he'd be holding such a quite importance for Gujarat Titans, but he has been giving that consistent as an all-rounder player. He has been doing a really good job for them. So, Chiru, looking at the Gujarat Titans so far, do you believe they can actually get into the playoffs? Because we have seen Punjab has been really splendid, RR in hot form again, and then RCB, they are a really good team. I believe the fourth spot is the one that we have to look out for because the top three teams right now are really in really good form. I believe it is the fourth spot that Gujarat Titans might be eyeing for because that is the most reasonable thing for them right now. But again, it's not that simple. We have DC again fighting for it, and then we have the other teams also. CSK wants to make a comeback. I believe KKR doesn't have any chance or any scope again. Mumbai still has that 0.1% fighting chance. So with all these people around them, do you think Gujarat has a comfortable playoff spot this season?
You did mention the word comfortable. Uh, yeah, as you said, it's not very straightforward or forward on paper. Actually, they have.
From the 9 matches, they
What
have
did you
won
say? I
five
think they
games.
won how many games from how many matches? Uh, yeah, 5 games. And generally, you get this feeling that if you win 8 games out of you get 16 points, you get qualified to the playoffs, and without all that mathematical calculations and all that stuff. So they need to win another 3 or 4 games from here. Uh, it is not so straightforward as that because if you look actually at their team, it's very good that Gill, Sudarshan, and Butler are performing at the top. But actually, if you see, there have been if this top three fails, you actually have no one at the in the middle order. There is Washington Sundar who's coming and batting at a position like number 4 and number 5. And Washington Sundar is not a very destructive batter. He might be labeled as an all-rounder, but I don't see him fit in as an all-rounder. Yes, he played a. I remember he scored a 50 when he was playing for the Sunrisers Hyderabad few years ago. But still, Washington Sundar is Washington Sundar, and I don't think he's a very destructive middle order. So it heavily depends on the top order. I don't know why all the other all almost all the teams have this problem in the middle order, and if at all they're looking for a finish, they have someone like Rashid Khan, or yeah, they do have Jason Holder now that he has come into the side, and Glenn Phillips was out. He didn't score well, so they had to remove him from the team. Uh, but yeah, that is one weak point that I've seen. But their bowling has been good. We have Rabada, we have Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad Siraj. They've been doing well. The pace battery is really good, and with the return of Jason Holder, I think he performed really well against RCB, and even the matches before that, he even took a brilliant or a whatever controversial catch or whatever that would be, but it's a brilliant catch versus RCB. So I think yeah, they can make it to the playoffs, provided all the other teams below them at number 6 and number 7, uh, teams like CSK, MI, and all these teams, if they Delhi of us, if they don't give a competitive, if they don't give competition to this, yeah, provided they will make it to the playoffs because
Yes, and
they
coming to
have a
the
good
next
net run
team,
rate also. I
it
think.
is Delhi Capitals. They are at the sixth position, and in the 9 matches they have played so far, only 4 wins with 5 losses, and that's 8 points to them. So, a recap so far: the first 2 matches were convincing wins for Delhi with against LSG and Mumbai. They have won by 6 wickets, and then that heartbreaking loss versus Gujarat by 1 run, followed by dominant performance by CSK, and they had lost by 23 runs. And then uh, they have again made a comeback versus RCB. They have won by 6 wickets, but again, versus SRH they lost by 47 runs. And then against Punjab, even though they had scored 264 and a brilliant 150 from KL Rahul, still they had to undergo that heartbreaking loss because of that wonderful performance from Punjab, and they had lost by 6 wickets. 264 was chased, and that just speaks volumes about the kind of pitches that are being made this IPL, because it is too batting friendly, and that is something I've been a really strong critic of, because I want to see a game that is being balanced between the batsmen and the bowlers, because that is when the skill comes out the best, and that's what has been happening so far in the IPL. Out of the 18 editions, I believe even up till the last year, it was not this one-sided, but this year it has been too one-sided, and that is where I believe we should, just not focus on the entertainment aspect, because yeah, seeing sixes every other ball is entertaining, but we should also focus on the amount of effort that each bowler puts in, to come and bowl those 6 balls on that stage, and then being hit for a six or every other ball just because the pitch doesn't, give you even little kind of a favor, is not the result you have been expecting after years of hard work. So I believe that is one aspect of this IPL that I have been, and as you rightly said, as a bowler, you yourself have felt a lot about this. Just seen even Bumrah not being able to perform. The world-class bowler Bumrah has had one of his worst IPL performances so far among all these years, and I believe I can attribute it to the pitches, because even when players like Bumrah doesn't perform, it just is very clearly evident that the pitchers are, very batting friendly. And then coming back to DC versus RCB, and RCB won by 9 wickets. DC was horribly all out for 75, and RCB chased it, within 7 overs. So that was the latest game for DC. And in DC's performance, if you see, it is not that they lack the players, because you see the orange cap is with them. KL Rahul, 433 runs right now, and he has an orange cap. 150 plus score he had hit. And then the other destructive batsman, Stubbs is there. The finisher Miller is there. Nitish Rana, he had hit 90 plus in a match. Samir Rizvi is their explosive middle order batsman. And then coming to the bowlers, you have the captain Axar Patel with the left arm spinner, and then another spinner, experienced one, Kuldeep Yadav is there for them, and then Mitchell Stark, one of the most deadly bowlers, and then Ingidi, even though he was recently injured, unfortunately, he's back in the nets again, and Natarajan also, he's been inconsistent, but yes, he is an option for them. So Chiru, I'd like to ask you a question. This squad looks really strong on paper, and they have had, very dominant performances. Like they have hit 264, even though they couldn't, defend it. But again, they have had really, really bad losses, like being 75 all out versus RCB. So, what do you think is wrong with this squad? Because on paper, KL Rahul, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, those kind of players, I would really hope, they would be in the top four, but they're at six right now with just four wins. So, what do you think is something that is wrong with this team?
Yeah, as you said, Maitreya, they look very strong on paper. And actually, if you see all it looks like all the strongest domestic players of Indian team or the Indian uh, cricket setup have been dumped into Delhi Capitals because you have someone like Nitish Rana, you have some experienced batter like KL Rahul at the top, you have Kuldeep Yadav, you have Mukesh Kumar, and all the uh, a lot of players that actually when you see them on paper, yeah, of course the captain Akshar Patel as well. You feel, yeah, this team is really good, but yeah, even though they're performing well, whether it is with the bat, they're missing out on bowling, and when they're performing well with the bowling, they're missing out on batting. Uh, I'm not sure, where or what they lack, uh, what they're lacking. That is, I mean, why they're not able to translate into action when it comes to game. But yeah, it is fine. I think they have a decent playoff qualifying chances. Especially, I think uh, yesterday's game, Nisanka was good. KL Rahul batted well. They won yesterday's game as well, right? So uh, Samir Rizvi had some brilliant games, and if you see Maitreya, they make some very, I don't know if they made a very tactical move yesterday. They were actually having, it was something like a, you need guts to do it. So they didn't have Sahil at the top because he got injured, and they had dropped actually Nisanka, and they knew that their top order needed stability, so they had the guts to drop David Miller to just get in and this overseas Nisanka back to play at the top. So I think I was surprised with that, but yeah, it did pay off well because Nisanka did score his first half century yesterday, and Akshar Patel has been brilliant. I think you didn't speak so much about him, but he's been brilliant with his bowling, especially. Yeah, captaining wise, I think he's been, the other bowlers have let down him. They've been really expensive at the depth, especially. Uh, I'm actually speaking all over the place because I'm not being consistent where I'm speaking. But yeah, then there is Tristan Stubbs at the middle order. He's been explosive somewhere. I've been disappointed with Abhishek Porel, Maitreya. Uh, and yeah, hopefully Lungi Ingidi comes back and they sit back their bowling lineup. And yeah, of course, with the return of Mitchell Stark and the experience added now, I think in case the next time they score a total like 260, a four, and hopefully they defend it. And just remember, Maitreya, it's like that game where they scored 264 or whatever. It was in the afternoon game. Okay, like you're scoring that in a 40 degrees Celsius heat, and the opener is hitting 154. That is KL Rahul, and after that losing a match, just getting let down by bowlers is something that is really heartbreaking for the team. But yeah, hopefully they stitch back something. I've really no idea where this team needs that glue, and where they have those flaws. But yeah, hopefully they perform and they qualify for the playoffs. But actually, we are telling that
Yes,
all teams
as
need to qualify to the
you
playoffs. I
rightly
don't know
said,
whom are
when
we
speaking
favoring
of
actually.
particular team, I
Only four
believe
teams can qualify,
we
right?
want them to qualify, but At the end, I'll ask you, Chiru, which four teams you will want to qualify, and I will tell you which four teams that I would want to qualify out of these 10. Because, and we'll speak more as both ways, as a fan point of view, as well as looking at the performances right now. We'll try to make a prediction because only four can, fit into that playoff spot. So right now, everybody has a chance because the tournament is just midway, and we don't know where it can go. Where it can go, this way, that way. Any team can have sudden dip in performance, or any team can peak anytime. And it is just about peaking at the right time. And it is too early to say anything, but yeah, we'll try to predict it at the end. Which four teams go into the playoffs. So right now coming to the next team, and that is my favorite team, that is Chennai Super Kings. And really, frankly speaking, I have been quite disappointed with them this season because uh, in the 8 matches that they've played so far, the ninth one is going on, and right now it is in CSK's favor. Hope they don't botch up this chase. But coming to speak of the 8 matches so far, they've had just 3 wins and 5 losses, and the net run rate is minus 0.121. So that statistics right here itself just tells you, the inconsistency in the team so far. I wouldn't blame Rutraj Gaikwad because many people, immediately go on to say MSD is not the captain, Rutraj doesn't know how to handle. No, I would say that the team is right now in a transition phase because we have seen in the auction big investment in very young uncapped players like Prashant Peer or Karthik Sharma. They both together, around 28 crores for just these two players. So that I believe from the management point of view shows a long-term strategy because they want to build a new team. But to many of us fans and to many of the strategists, from many people, this has been seen, as uh, I don't know, not a really good move. But again, only time will tell because some investments may seem not good, but only when they play some few matches, we'll get to know how good they are. And then the other point of view, where the team is lacking, I believe, is uh, they have had a strong win followed by a series of losses. So the consistency factor is missing in this team. And then one thing I believe that is, you know, uh, from the other teams that is differing is CSK has comparatively good bowling attack compared to their batting attack because in the matches that they have played so far, their bowling attack actually has overpowered their batting attack because uh, the batsmen they have either given 200 plus performances or they have been unable to chase even very simple targets. So especially if you see the SRH match or if you see uh, the DC match was one where the bowlers showed their brilliance, but with the RCB match they couldn't chase the target. So matches like this, inconsistent performances from them, and as I've already said, the team itself is not strong on paper as well because if you look at the players, half of them are uncapped, and this doesn't look like the CSK in its glory days because the CSK was called the Dad's Army, and it used to be filled with those players, who have already had those peak of their career they have attained, and they have then come to CSK to peak again. It had those kind of players, and I believe that has completely changed from this year because we have seen players like Prashant Veer, Karthik Sharma, and if you see the bowling attack, I don't even I can't even say the names because it doesn't strike to my mind because when I think of CSK players, the oldies come to mind, but seeing these players, it just gives a new vibe, and I think we all get used to it. But yeah, I think that's what is a big problem. And another main factor, I believe, not only as a fan, but even if I analyze, I believe MSD's absence on the field is very huge because even though he may not contribute with the bat as he used to do maybe 2 years ago, also he used to perform really well with the bat. But on field, when he's wicket keeping, his advices to the bowler and fielding placements, and even his advices to Rutraj Gaikwad, who's the transition captain. So all those aspects, as one of the most senior players in the IPL, one of the best captains in IPL. That is what I believe is missing in CSK right now, and it is really felt because Rutraj, as a young captain, leading very inexperienced team, is having a lot of trouble, and even the other players, lots of injuries. We have seen the the under 19 captain, Indian under 19 captain. He has also been injured during the SRH match, and then we have seen lot of replacements coming in and lot of injuries. Even Brevis was not present for the first 2 3 matches. So the injuries, along with the player selection, I believe is one thing that is lacking for CSK. I wouldn't rule out CSK at all because from my heart I want them to qualify, and they have the potential. If you see right now, even in this match, they are 82 for 2 in 8.2 overs. So that just shows that if everything goes right, they have the capability to do it. It's just that they are not getting the combinations right, and it is not the CSK like before because once CSK sticks to one particular playing 11, they wouldn't change it even if they had two losses because they believed in that playing 11 or that playing combination. But this is, I believe, the first season where we are seeing CSK changing so many people. Like today, they have gotten Prashant Veer in case of Akhil Hossain, and they had gotten Karthik Sharma. Now they have gotten Urvil Patel. So they have changed 20 players so far. They've played 20 players so far in this tournament in the 9 matches, the ninth match playing so far. So that is, I believe, that once they find the correct playing 11, everything will go right for CSK. So hoping that no more injuries for them, and hoping that they find the correct playing 11, and obviously the impact player also, because once they have that correct playing 11, it's a team game. Obviously, no big names, much big names are there. It is just Rutraj Gaikwad, Shivam Dubey, and the other names I don't believe make such a big impact in the team. So coming to their performance, I believe uh, I wouldn't say right now, looking at the other teams, not a very strong contender for the playoffs, but yes, they have the potential. And from the depths of my heart, I would want them to qualify because as a CSK fan, seeing a team like this, just makes me think of what's just gone wrong with them. But yes, still time is there to come back, and it is still the midway of IPL, so lot more time for improvement and lot more time for comeback. So then going to the next team, that is KKR. So KKR in the 8 matches that they have played so far, they've had only 2 wins and 5 losses, and one that was a washed out game. So luckily they got the point because that was against Punjab, and we already know the outcome before itself. So coming to a quick uh, recap of the campaign so far. So versus MI versus SRH versus Punjab, that was a no result game. Versus LSG versus CSK and versus GT, they had lost. They hadn't won so far, for the one for the first 6 matches, there was no win for them. And finally, versus Rajasthan Royals, they had won by 4 wickets. And then versus LSG, they had that win in the super over. That was again one of the most chilling matches, I believe, of this IPL. And I believe the most consistent players for KKR so far had been Rinku Singh because he's 83 in one of the match versus LSG, and his fielding also in that match, almost 3 to 4 catches, I believe, were really crucial because everywhere on the field you see it was Rinku Singh here, Rinku Singh there, and with the bat Rinku Singh. So Rinku Singh was really that booster for them. And then Sunil Narayan, he's about 37, 38 years old. The kind of clutch performances he's been giving, especially that super over, he took out Puran and Makram and got that win for KKR. So Chiru, talk about Sunil Narayan because Sunil Narayan has been that guy we have been seeing from our childhood, from almost 10 years so far, 10 to 12 years, he's been playing for KKR and he's been consistent. He's still one of the most valuable players for KKR this season. So, talk about how Sunil Narayan has been performing consistently throughout the year and how he is still being able to be one of the most economical bowlers and one of the most destructive bowlers for KKR so far.
Maitre, if you tell me to talk about Sunil Narain, first of all, I'd like to mention one thing, like players like Sunil Narain and this uh, Andrew Russell. I I think like over the years, why are these two people still playing for the same team? Because we have seen two mega auctions come, and they could probably be in some other team, but somehow they ended up, playing for KKR for these many years. Russell now took on the duty of a power coach, I believe, for the Kolkata Knight Riders. But then Sunil Narine is still playing. Yeah, as you said, we have been seeing this man from our childhood. I remember watching him. Though he was a bowler, I think it was during Gautam Gambhir's captaincy where he was, experimented at the top. He made Gautam Gambhir made Sunil Narayan open along with him, and back then T20 cricket was not so destructive like this, and he used to give those cameos. I mean, cameos usually come at the end, but this person was uh, whacking at the top and getting some runs. And yeah, as a bowler, has always been economical more than wickets. I think it is his economy that matters because he controls a lot of runs, and he's been doing that over the years. And yeah, we can't forget that power play. And I think, if I'm not wrong, this is the second time he has got Nicholas Puran out for a duck in a power play. I think he has done that even in CPL, if I'm not wrong. So I think he has got some record in power plays, and it was super over just finished just like that. Uh, you generally see 6 balls, how many runs can you score? 14 runs, okay. Then the other team comes and chases down it, or the bowling team tries to defend it and they finally win, but it's just 1 or 2 runs that they have scored. So yeah, Sunil and hats off to him that he's able to put on the performance even at this age. Uh, and also, I think talking about KKR setup, I think they tried him at the top even this year. I think it didn't click. He didn't. He was widely swinging. He just got a boundary and he got out. Uh, but it's been disappointing, Maitreya, for me. KKR. I think they really don't have some uh, consistency in the team. Rinku Singh, thank God, he has. I think the last 2 games has gone well with him, but before that he didn't perform. Ajinkya Rahane had. I think the first 2 games he scored 50, but I think at the rate T20 cricket is moving, I think his performances at the strike rate of 120 and 130, even 140 is not good enough. I think he needs to gear up, and as a captain, it's his responsibility to do that. Uh, uh, Other than him, I think Finn Allen was right at the top. He didn't click. Tim Seifert is currently at the top, but he's not able to give those explosive starts. I think Cameron Green had 2 or 3 good games, and there was this pressure tag on him, 28 crores. And that's a huge tag and huge pressure to bear. They were and this Cameron Green was not allowed to bowl because of his workload management. So I think it felt a lot of pressure for him, but yeah, he did well with the bat in the last 2 games. But yeah, looking at this team, I think they're nowhere qualifying for the playoffs, Maitreya, because they just had this last 2 decent
Yeah,
games. But
even
apart
I too
from
feel the
this,
same
I don't
because
think so. KKR is making
looking at
anywhere
the
through the
team,
playoffs.
setup right now, I believe it is completely dismantled from the KKR that had won the IPL 2023. Sorry, 2024. So it is completely different. The players are different. Just the one or two, as I've said, Russell has moved to coaching and Narayan is still there. Rinku Singh is still there, but it is nowhere the KKR that was 2 years ago. And with Rahane leading it, Rahane is an experienced player, is experienced captain also. But given the kind of team he's been dealing with, and I don't think even his experience can help anything more than that. So I believe playoffs is something out of reach for them, but maybe a respectable finish, not at the bottom of the table, but maybe can move a little more, you know, go to the middle of the table at least, for having a respectable finish at the end of the season. So that is what I believe is the maximum potential for them this season. And then going to Mumbai Indians. So surprising to see Mumbai Indians, at this part of the table because Mumbai Indians, when you see, has been one of the most successful franchises in the IPL history so far. And on paper, you see, they have one of the strongest squads on paper. Before, if you would have seen the Mumbai squad, strongest bowling lineup, strongest experience, they have
Strongest bowling lineups,
Rohit
Maitreya.
Sharma, even though he's injured,
The
but they
bowling
have Rohit
lineup is
Sharma, they have Hardik Pandya, they have Bumrah, they have Surya Kumar Yadav, the T20 World Cup winning captain he is, and then they have Will Jacks, they have Rickleton, they have Tilak Verma, the recently T20 World Cup winner, and then coming to the bowlers, as I rightly mentioned, they have Trent Bowl, they have Jasprit Bumrah, and Hardik Pandya is a bowling all-rounder for them, and Deepak Chahar is there, Shardul Thakur is there. So lot of players are there with
Deepak
them,
Chahar,
and
Shardul
at,
Thakur.
and if after the auction, if you would have looked at all the teams, I would surely put Mumbai in top four because just looking at the squad, I would be like they have the players that have the topmost potential across international cricket, and I would all of them coming in is a deadly combo, and we already know the way the Mumbai management picks their players because they pick even young players and they also pick the top players of international cricket, and they have made such a kind of a team over the years. So at the auction, I believe nothing wrong was done by the management. It is just, I believe, the luck factor, and at once all of them has gone out of form. If you see, Bumrah is nowhere near his prime, and every other. Surya Kumar Yadav has been having a dip in his form since the T20 World Cup and it's been continuing. And then the opening pair they have not been able to get right. Once Rohit Sharma was injured, I believe the opening pair didn't just click on. And then Tilak Verma has been giving the inconsistent performances. And Hardik Pandya as a captain has made some questionable choices, like especially the one of the most disastrous move was getting in Shardul Thakur as an impact player in the last match and then not letting him to even bowl or bat. He was just there as a fielding. Then what is the point of getting him as an impact player? Just get him in as a substitute fielder. What is that impact player rule that they have been using? So that just shows a lot of inconsistency, lot of improper planning in the team, and confusion. I believe because too many, as one of the famous saying is that too many cooks spoil the broth. So that is something I believe is happening in the Mumbai camp because too many people who have the potential to be the leaders have all been dumped into Mumbai, and now that is a crisis because cricket is a game. You have to function as a team, not a group of individuals, but a team of individuals is what cricket demands, and the teamwork I believe is missing in this Mumbai lineup, and that is going to cost them really bad because we are seeing them right now struggling even against Chennai Super Kings in this match so far, and they are below KKR, which didn't have a win for the first six matches. So that just speaks, volumes about the kind of bad season that MI is having. And as a CSK fan, I would always want that CSK MI rivalry to continue. And I would want MI to, obviously be on par uh, as one of the top playing teams so that, it is a really interesting IPL. So really bad, feeling bad that MI is in this state, but I wouldn't, see MI qualifying at all because they maximum chances is winning every match from now and winning with big margins, and that doesn't seem to be happening right now also. So I believe this season the only thing that is left out for them, as I've said, even for KKR, is getting to a better position at the end of the season and maybe planning for a better playing 11 so that they can get everything right from the next season. From the start, everything should be, right on track for them. So that is something that they can work on. But uh, yes,
Yeah, I would like to add one thing. I'm actually surprised at one move that has happened now. Yeah, Rohit Sharma is of course injured, and they got in today Will Jacks to open. Right, he was in actually in the middle order. Middle order. They got him to open in case they needed an overseas. opener. They already had Decock, who had
Yes, yes,
scored
he
even
scored a
100,
century
I
on
believe, against
the
Punjab
match that
Kings
he was, called back.
in the
He
first
scored
few
a century.
matches. If I'm not wrong, was it Punjab? Uh, yeah, and I think they ended up losing that match anyway. But yeah, but you have an experience like Quinton de Kock, and I remember the times when he used to open for Mumbai Indians in the past. He's such a destructive batter. I think after the century, he didn't. He had two or three bad games, and again he was removed. But I feel it is in case you need a overseas overseas opener, they could have gone with Peacock instead of uh, Will Jacks. I think that is my take. But yeah, when it looks like they have a very strong team on paper, but nothing's working out. I think it is that 2019 RCB where we had players on paper, but none of them were on the field performing. So I think it's the same thing that is happening with Mumbai. And also, I think they were boasting about their first win in this edition, saying this is we are for the first time winning the first match in IPL after so many years. I was thinking, okay, Mumbai is up to something, but I didn't know that they're up to losing these many matches after that. Uh, yeah, I can't believe that Trent Bolt was dropped. I couldn't believe Deepak Chahar was sitting out. I couldn't believe that Shardul Thakur was coming in and out. These are players that you normally think they straight make it to the playing 11. There is no doubt that they don't make it into the 11 until they're injured. Okay, uh, and you saw someone like Allah Gasanfar making some headlines. Is Ashwani Kumar coming and taking some wickets? Yeah, Ashwani Kumar is a good bowler, but when you have someone like Jasprit Bumrah, Trent Boult, Shardul Thakur, Deepak Chahar, you, you'd think Ashwani Kumar will not get a game in this year's IPL edition. That was the thought process that I think that I would have had before. But then yeah, nothing has worked out for them. So Mumbai, hard luck to you. Uh, I don't know. Mumbai can make miraculous things. They have done miraculous things in the past. I think 2013 they qualified, and yeah, we saw how in 2024 RCB qualified to the playoffs. So yeah, if they do have a miraculous turn, we'll see. But yeah, we have at the table bottom Lucknow Super Giants. Maitreya, they changed their logo, they changed their shirt, their jersey, but I don't know. But it looks like their performance isn't changing from last year's edition. Uh, Rishabh Pant had one good game, I think that was with Punjab, where he scored 40 odd runs of 20. I think he had a strike rate of around 200 or something. After that, he had a duck, and I think the last match he scored a decent score, but I think strike rate wasn't so good. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember the numbers or I'm not have the tab open, but yeah, Rishabh Pant as a captain, he needs to. I know I want to see the Rishabh Pant of 2017. Actually, Maitreya, when I'm seeing this Lucknow Super Giants team, I'm not seeing any impressive players here as of now. I mean, they've not performed this season. You have Badoni. Yeah, Badoni has had few good games, but apart from that, Maitreya, it's really hard to make of this team. So yeah, Maitreya, talk about Lucknow Super Giants. You have some experience like Mohammad Shami as well there. But and what is our Digvesh Rati Singh doing? Singh Rati, whatever his name is, what is he doing? He's not signing notes this season. I think he got two or three wickets so far. I mean, it's the story of every bowler. But yeah, what's happening to Lucknow? Maitreya, you're on mute.
Hello.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I was asking you about what do you make of Lucknow Super Giants? I don't see any big names there. Neither do I see players who perform so well, or taking wickets or even scoring big numbers.
Well, Lucknow Super Giants, the whole team itself. has, as you said, on paper they look really weak, and that is something. Even after auction, I wouldn't, put them into the top four. They have changed their, as I said, jersey, logo, everything, but they couldn't
Okay,
change their
but
costume.
I'll just add one more point
Yeah,
before
yeah, sure, sure.
you take off. I'm just seeing the results, and I'm seeing that they have, they started quite well. Okay, the first few matches they scored around 230 and all that stuff. 235 the first match they scored again 227 against RCB. And after that, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches, they've scored, something like 140, 160, 180, 160, 149 again. So I think, these are totals that are really below par. Uh, then one game against Punjab, they got to 200 when Punjab hit 254, and they became 119 all out against RR. And then again, we are seeing them at 155. I think they're playing the 2017 IPL edition. They're not playing 2026 edition of IPL. Someone needs to tell them that they need to get upgraded. So yeah, this will bring you to the end of today's episode. I can't believe, Maitra, that I've been sitting with you for 1 hour 16 minutes and talking about IPL. My God, I haven't talked a lot for a while with any of my friends for this long. But yeah, this will bring you to the end of this episode.